tell you what, my neighbors love me.
Oh, so you've had some feedback on that, have you?
Oh yeah, they
Oh boy.
absolutely love me. So the other morning, I got a call. And it was like, Mr. Loki. Yes. We would like to remind you that the sound ordinance is in effect from 8 a.m. in the morning or 12 at night until 8 a.m. in the morning. Can you please keep it down before 8 a.m.? And I said, my show goes live at 8 a.m. So I'm not loud. I'm quiet as a church mouse until 8 a.m. Believe me, I don't make sound. And then it's like, but yeah, not until then. Oh, okay. I was like, you can look at my YouTube page by all means. I go live at 8 a.m. every morning. So
Yeah. So right now you're safe, and yet apparently someone complained.
oh yeah, more than once.
Mm.
So I had pissed somebody off, but we're moving anyway in June. So
Oh, there you go.
into June we're out of here. So and into a house. Hello.
Oh, nice.
So
Excellent.
we'll be renting a house for a couple of years and then buying
Yeah.
something.
Nice. Excellent.
Hopefully. So, but good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome to the Comic Book Roundtable. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and tonight we're going to talk about comic books. I hope you have your tea and crumpets ready. Have your crumpets at the ready, your crisps, crackers, whatever the hell you call them over there across the pond. We are going to talk comic books tonight. Pardon me, clobbering, but do you have any Grey Poupon?
Yes. Well, I did, but I just ate it.
Oh, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys are having a great week. I'm having an interesting week. So if I'm a little crazier than normal, by God, just, deal with it.
The word interesting doesn't always mean good. What's that old curse? May you live in interesting times.
Yes.
Oh dear. Yeah, we could be playing the game of Rassilon at this very moment. Sorry.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Message, Spock? None that I'm aware of, Captain. Except, of course, happy birthday.
Surely, best of times.
Really the best of times. Oh, my God. All right. So let me welcome 24/7 Fusion to the panel. Greetings, brother. Hope you are doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm just glad to be here, man. Happy to be here, man. And happy to be happy to see everybody out here in the chat, man, and happy to be with both of these great guys here on the panel. So I'm just loving it, man. Happy to be here.
Interesting times, right?
Oh, of course.
Clobbering times, dude. You know what? I felt so bad. The other day when you were on Monday, when you're doing the Mark C show, I was in the car, and by the time I got back, I was like, shit, and I didn't even check my phone to see if you sent me anything, and I was like, son of a bitch.
Cool. I saw you popped in the chat, so I thought I'd throw one out at you. But I knew you were, it was either later you were doing something, not a biggie. Mike showed up.
DC.
And then DC. Jim Cox showed up later, and it was a good time had by all, just celebrating our dear departed buddy, Mark C.
And I was listening. I didn't think to check my damn DMs. So
not a problem, bro. I mean, I figured you might be busy. I threw it out there because I really wasn't sure who was going to show up, and I didn't even. That's on me for not contacting you earlier. Because you do a lot of morning stuff and all that stuff. So when it's late at night, I try not to bug you and other friends who do a lot of late or early morning streaming or late night streaming. But so I hear you, man.
No Good problem, evening, Pat S. Pat S says, hail 24/7. Hail.
I'm going to see Pat S in a couple of weeks, I think.
Really?
We got a con coming up downhill.
Nice.
You better be there. You said he was.
I might have heard something about that.
I sure hope so. It'd be good to meet him.
Heck yeah. Gun Bunny, what is up, Gun Bunny? Says evening to all on the panel. Good evening, Gun Bunny. Hephaestus is here. What is up, Hephaestus? How are you doing, brother? I hope you are tinkering and making cool things that, we get pictures of. Hephaestus can make all kinds of cool stuff. Good evening, Master Fiber. Chris Persia's here. Mr. Buttcrack Media is here. Willow was canceled. Yeah, that's Disney.
Oh. Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was looking forward to not watching it some more.
I got some really interesting info. Remind me to share something with you when we get out of here. I got some really interesting info today on Disney, the company, and what they have been doing. And it's, I mean, to me, it's like it sounds absolutely insane, but when you put all the pieces together, I mean, it may be right. I don't want to do rumors, so I'll tell you after.
It's a fair call.
So Pat S, hail. Gun Bunny, hail. Akimi Mara, hail. How are you doing? Hopefully you are doing well. Family, everybody's doing good. Big shout out to Daryl the Derelict this morning. He asked for help raising a little bit of cash for a tombstone for his friend that he started streaming with. When he started streaming, him and his friend were streaming together, and his friend got sick and passed away. God bless him. His friend's mother is making her final payment on the headstone, and we were able to get it out in chat this morning. And just as an update, he got all the money they were trying to get. So
good.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
And we had two donations this morning. One from ZBR that went to went in a super chat, a $50 super chat, and then a $20 super chat, I believe, from Mags. If I'm wrong about that, oops. But I believe it was from Mags, and we were able to get that to him today. He didn't have to wait for it.
Oh, well, that's excellent. Good to hear.
Heck yeah. Hello, Jester's Darth Arlena. Good evening. Hope you are doing well.
Hey.
She says, "Hey, y'all." It must be Arwina. The combined form of Twinsy Power activate. Oh my God, let's not get into that shit. We watched the Smallville episode that has the Wonder Twins on it the other day, and I was like, oh my God, I hate these two.
Didn't see that one. So did they say form of and in shape of?
Oh yeah.
They do say it.
So and do their little thing.
Jan and Jaina.
Yep.
Well,
of course, they're absolute screw ups. They screw everything up. They're trying to help Superman, and they screw everything up.
Superman was on there
constantly. Clark.
Sorry,
but he's using the symbol at that point, so he's got the S shield. He's got the shield going. He's
tattoo or something.
No, it's actually on a shirt.
Painted on there. Oh.
And he heat visions it into walls and stuff when he's there, so people know. Hey, you know what? Superman was here.
Yeah, because DC Comics said, "Look, I don't care how you do it. You need to work this into as many episodes as you can because we have a copyright to protect."
That's right.
We're going through a leak at that time. In fact, and they're not even kidding. Around that, I don't know when that episode was made, mind you, but they were going through a lot of legal issues with the Siegel family.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that show was on the air during a lot of it. So yeah.
I didn't know about that. I might have known about it, but I don't. Yeah. I probably didn't remember that's when it was going on.
There wasn't even a stretch where there were certain things they couldn't put on TV or movies without special dispensation or different. Well, for example, since the name Superboy was kind of tied up with them, they had that Legion of Superheroes cartoon they did in the mid-aughts, which as a Legion fan disappointed me because I didn't like the way it looks and all this kind of stuff. But they had quote unquote Superboy on there, but they had to call him Superman. They couldn't call him Superboy, even though he was, a kid version. Things like that. Batman Brave and the Bold, my beloved cartoon that I love very much. The first couple of seasons, they couldn't really have Superman on there. They would show him like from the side, they show the back, and they finally were able to get him into that last season. But for while that was going on, they couldn't use him at first. So
it's crazy.
Crazy stuff, yeah. Thank God they did. That's my favorite episode when they finally put him on there. Agreed, Lord Thoth. Avon lives, long live the Legion, buddy. That's not that cartoon. Everyone's always trying to get me to watch it and give it a chance. But that's not the Legion, man. They look terrible.
Okay, so the episode is called Idol. It's in season 9, and the synopsis is superhero twins Zan and Jaina, guest stars David Gallagher and Allison Scagliotti. What a name.
Oh, Allison Scagliotti from Warehouse 13? Oh, man.
Yeah, Allison Scagliotti. Show up in Metropolis to help the Blur fight crime.
but end up botching every rescue, landing Clark in hot water with the district attorney's office. Clark decides to come forward as the Blur to clear his name. Obviously, that does not happen. That was in 2009.
Yeah,
she's I love her as on that Warehouse 13. That girl Allison. Oh, she's a hottie.
So.
Well, that means you need to watch it now, huh?
What? No.
And it was only 4 episodes later, Klobby, that they did a 2-hour special event called Society and Legends. DC Comics character Hawkman, Stargirl, and Dr. Fate from the Justice Society of America meet up with Clark and his team in a special 2-hour event.
Oh, that was all over geek social media for a long time. You couldn't miss it. Even if you didn't watch the episode, which I didn't, of course. But yeah, it was all over the place. And believe me, you can imagine I was inundated with people telling you have to watch this one. I hate it, but I get that a lot. I know you hate this thing, but this one you got to watch. No, I don't.
So Jester's Darth Arlena asks, so what comics y'all talking tonight? My favorite X-Men from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. So I figured we would do something positive tonight because there's enough bad news out there rolling around. I mean, I'm just heartbroken over Willow, guys.
Yeah.
So I figured we'd talk about something really positive tonight. Our favorite,
nice.
Someone just pick something, anything you want.
Superman.
I mean, well, I would talk Superman, but I've talked Superman enough over the past 2 years on this show.
Right.
So I'm going to bring up X-Men. So in the 80s,
Finish your point. You said our favorite what? I mean,
okay. It doesn't have to be. It can be anything. So just pick a favorite. It doesn't have to be your absolutely all-time favorite. Just pick a favorite and bring it up. I'm gonna talk about the Phoenix Saga from 1980.
Cool.
That I read after I saw the X-Men cartoons Phoenix Saga, and I was like, "Wow, this is totally different than."
Oh boy, was it different! Oh.
Wow. But it was. I mean, that's still a great Phoenix Saga on the animated series.
Oh, yeah.
I had so many issues with the way they. And by the way, I just re-binged that X-Men animated series from the 90s just a few months back. And I enjoyed it. Yeah, beautiful, unbelievable opening. That music's great. But what they did to the Phoenix Saga and some other things, again, well, I, of course, enjoyed it, the show. They messed with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, you got to understand, it was Fox Kids. They couldn't fucking put that whole, so I mean, you either you got the altered version or you wouldn't have got the story at all.
Well, no, I understand that, but they actually made changes that had nothing to do with like having, to make it more kid friendly or anything like that. They screwed around with a lot of stuff too. That cartoon, I like it, but they made a lot of, in my opinion, poor decisions. The thing is, by the time that cartoon got made, the Fox X-Men cartoon, I was already stopped buying X-Men, and that roster that they go with, I'm not big on that roster. There's some characters I love, and the other ones like Jubilee, I can't stand. And a couple other ones that
so he's saying like Gambit, Jubilee.
I don't like Gambit.
All them. You didn't like none of them.
Yeah, I don't like. I wanted Nightcrawler and Colossus.
Right.
You do get night. Well, yeah, you don't.
As regulars.
You don't get them as regulars, but you do get to see Colossus, and you do get to see.
Once in a while, barely though.
Yeah. Well, there's a whole story about Colossus. They're dealing with Omega Red.
Omega Red. I'm just saying it's not enough. I want them to be regulars. I hear you though, but I can't look. I know I'll get in trouble for this, but I hated Jubilee. I can't stand Gambit. I know people love Gambit. Fine. It's just me. We all have our favorite. Look.
Hey, mon ami, it's Jaxo better to open.
Let me tell you something about Gambit, man, with his stupid Cajun accent. It sounded so damn funny.
Come on. So you telling me you didn't like the Nola, the Louisiana in them?
No, because he sounded so. People don't talk like that. Not many. Not many. You say, this Gambit talk like this again. Like,
well, those are the French Canadians. Those are the French Canadians.
I hate Gambit, man. I'll energize playing cards and throw playing cards of electricity. It's like, shut up.
Well, he could energize anything. He could energize his staff. He could energize anything he touched. I figured that would get him in trouble, and I always thought, maybe a young Gambit. That's why he's got such a thing for Rogue, because Rogue can't touch anything. And maybe a young Gambit who didn't know how to control his powers was just setting everything, blow that shit up, boy.
I would have used Dazzler before Jubilee, but especially Kitty Pryde before Jubilee. It should have been Kitty Pryde instead of Jubilee, though.
Why Jubilee and not Kitty Pryde? Because Jubilee was the new girl on the block. They were doing that for a while. They'd bring that new girl on the block in.
She was just at the time, yeah.
Yeah, and she was the new girl on the block. So she was the new girl on the team. They did that with Dazzler. They did that with Jubilee. They did it with Kitty Pryde. They've done it a couple of times with different people.
Yeah, Dazzler. Yep.
But I would have used Kitty Pryde instead of her. I just didn't like her.
I remember I remember playing the X-Men game at the arcade and being like, who the hell is this Dazzler bitch?
Oh, you didn't like Dazzler?
I didn't know who she was. I just watched the cartoon and I barely started playing. You got to think, this is in the 80s when that giant X-Men arcade that had like 6 people. You could play with 6 different people. Yeah, so did I, but I didn't know who the hell Dazzler was.
Well, yeah. I mean, she had her own comic throughout the 80s.
Yeah, I loved it. She
started in the X-Men, and a lot of people liked it. I mean, we I used to make fun of it, to be honest.
Yeah, you remember that Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, that series. Yeah, you like that one?
Did you like it?
And I didn't like the art in it too much, but it was I love Hank McCoy.
Right.
And of course, I'm not a big Dazzler fan, but she's a hottie, of course. Now, I like her original costume for obvious reasons.
Oh hell yeah, that man.
Later they gave her a really crappy costume.
Yeah, I didn't like that. That was when they gave her the first costume, she was still in the 70s. So, but then when she got into let's say like 83, 84, 85, they start giving her that fucking flash dance look where she had like the fucking leggings and the fucking Pat Benatar haircut.
Well, she was created by a record label along with Jim Shooter so they could make a music comic movie and stuff. So she wasn't even created as a comic book character at first. But anyway, go ahead.
Didn't in the last movie, didn't they have her and they gave her like a dangler?
Who?
What
movie?
In that Phoenix movie. I never watched it, so I mean I'm just asking.
What movie are you talking about?
The Phoenix movie. The last X-Men movie. And neither did
I. Dazzler was in it?
Yeah, didn't they have her in it and she had a dangler?
What the fuck's an dangler?
They gave her a dangler. They gave her a dangler 24.
What is that?
They made her a cross dresser.
Allison was a Come on.
But what's a dangler?
Danglers, your twig and berries, your wedding tackle.
Oh, I don't know. The first thing pops into my head is dingleberries. So I'm like, what the fuck?
No. You're making that
dingleberries, danglers, and doohickeys.
That's just what there was. Someone did a video about the fact that they brought Dazzler into the Phoenix movie, and that she had a piece. That she had a piece. So I was just like,
I wonder why I didn't make any money.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not because I never watched the movie.
I don't know. That's hard to believe. But I mean, that wouldn't be hard to believe right now, but even just a few years ago, that's hard to believe. I guess so, though. So I don't know. Someone here has to have seen it.
And Akimi Mara says, I always loved Nightcrawler for some reason. When he showed up in X2, I was like, okay, this is the shit. When he's vamping through the White House, I was like, holy shit. And then when he's talking about like his faith and he's like, he etched all that stuff on his skin, I was like, holy crap.
Dude, the animated series went overboard with his religion, with his faith. Though, I got to say, on the Nightcrawler episode, it was a little spooky. I mean, for a show made by a bunch of mainly, the people making a Fox cartoon, most of them were pretty secular and not really all that religious, but it was very religious. It was to the point where I'm like, we know he's a devout Catholic, but in that one, he was I don't know, use the term holy roller, but on the cartoon now, I'm talking the 90s cartoon.
Yeah.
But still, right. I wanted more Kurt.
No, I agree. And I thought they did a great job of him in the movie. I really did in X2. Yeah. Why is X2 like one of the greatest, a really good comic book movie. And then we got the fucking Phoenix movie. We got X3.
X3 was by Brett Ratner's. Wow, that's garbage.
Although
even now, I'll give it the Beast is great in it though. Kelsey Grammer's the Beast is.
Oh yeah. No. I wish we had gotten him in all 3 movies. I wish we got him in all 3 movies.
Yeah, he was. Oh, and even said the classic Beast line, "Oh my stars and garters." And at least they didn't make him look like the kitty cat Beast. That's one of the worst. In the 2000s, Grant Morrison made him look like a kitty cat, or one of those idiots.
Yeah. Oh, that's Dark Phoenix. I'm looking to see if I can find who the hell, if she's in there or not.
What's everybody's favorite X-Men? Because since we're talking X-Men, I have an unpopular favorite. What about you, 24? Do you have a favorite X-Men? X-Men. By the way, it's sexist to say X-Men.
Oh yeah, I know, right? Let me see. Now I think about it.
Everybody, who's your favorite X-Men?
I know.
So Halston Sage played Dazzler in the Phoenix movie.
Oh, really? I love her. She was on there, huh?
Yep.
Well, doesn't have a Dangler. She's on the Orville.
Yep.
No kidding. Allison Blair.
I never watched it. I might have to go back and watch this damn movie, even though I don't want to.
Just to see her, I'd almost watch it.
Just to see her
But not allowed she has a Dangler, though.
I want to see if that's true now.
I can't watch Halston Stage having a Dangler. Just wouldn't work for me. You don't have a favorite X-Man now?
Yeah, I mean Wolverine was my favorite, man. Yeah, I know that's kind of
no, that's
it's kind of generic, as everybody's fucking go to, for the most part, but it would have to be cool. Wolverine, man.
Nothing wrong with that. Loki, who's your favorite?
And probably surprise everybody. If it's not Wolverine, which I mean, come on, Wolverine back then was everybody's. It's gonna be Bishop.
That does surprise me. Okay, you like Bishop? Nothing wrong with it. I'm just curious. Mine's gonna make it surprise everybody too, but mine's Cyclops. I've always loved Scott Summers. He's a total. I mean, he's just a great character to me. It's like, I mean, imagine having to have your eyes closed all your life with those power beams and stuff, and led a pretty angry existence for a long time. And then I don't know, but he was a great leader. He was an a-hole, which I liked about him. But a good leader. I don't know. I've always loved Scott. Summers got popular.
It wasn't too long after we moved to Texas that it was probably like my first year of junior high. I remember my dad driving me to school with him, and I asked him, I was like, why does Cyclops? Because his favorite was Cyclops. He had the original comic, the original X-Men comic that his mother sold in the garage sale. Oh yeah. He had that and the first Fantastic Four too. But that was right after he joined the Navy. That would have been back in 50s, mid to late 50s. Anyway, so I asked him, I was like, why does Cyclops wear the visor? Why does he have to wear the visor? And he said, because he was in an accident, and the thing in his head that controls his eye beams, it got messed up in the accident, and that's why he has to wear that. I was like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. What comic was this again?
Oh, I was just asking him. I asked him. We weren't talking. I was talking about the Phoenix Saga. That's what I originally brought up was the Phoenix Saga.
Yeah.
But Dark Phoenix Saga. But I had just asked him why Cyclops. Asked my dad why Cyclops wore the visor. He said because he got in an accident.
Wasn't an accident. Once his powers were released, he has to close his eyes. That allows him to be able to see and contain his blasts.
Oh yeah. He can close his eyes and all that. I'm just
he needs the visor for that. But yeah,
he needs the visor to be able to see. Yeah, because he can't turn it off.
It's hold the blast. On. Yeah. which is a really makes for a fascinating type of a character like that, who's with that kind of condition, with that much power, and he can't control it without a certain apparatus, because mutants do have weird problems like that, and I just love him.
That Lord Thaw says, in an accident where Psyche suffered a concussion that caused brain damage. It was when the Shi'ar kidnapped his father.
Yes. Oh yeah, he did have an accident. And so you're talking about, yeah. But I mean, initially it was just because he had to have that to control his blast. I thought that's what you were
Hey, let me ask you this, man. Did you see, if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me correctly, I think I seen something in the last 2 or 3 months about his father, because I know he's a space pirate. I used to with Starjammers.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you see what did you see what they've done to his dad lately?
Oh no, don't think.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's Corsair. He's Corsair. He's with the
Bull.
That's the same group that Star-Lord was a part of, right?
No, not Star-Lord. He was with a different group even originally, but what you call it, the Starjammers or whatever, were Dave Cockrum.
Yeah, because I had that comic. Like I had like Starjammers _1. I had all that shit, man.
Yeah. But that was his pappy. He was what's his damn name? They did some of that on the animated show pretty well. They had beginning his father on there, Corsair, which was pretty cool. But yeah, Star-Lord. Now initially it had nothing to do with the Guardians or any of that stuff.
Oh yeah, that Star-Lord was a completely. Come on, man, they fucked all that up. I don't. Even Drax is not even Drax anymore. So I don't even.
No, he's nothing like the real Drax. That's one in the Star-Lord. I mean, that was. It's funny how that James Gunn Guardians movie was based on Guardians of the Galaxy that was revamped.
And that was even a better thought of concept of what the superheroes of the future. Did you like the original Guardians of the Galaxy from the 90s?
Yeah, I love from the 90s. The original group was from a 68 or something when they started, but I like the one from the Silver and Bronze Age. I didn't buy the one in the late 80s that started their own series for a while.
Yeah, in the 90s.
They were the original group, and they were okay. I didn't really like that comic that much. Jim Valentino did that one. But I don't know. I like the original Guardians fairly enough. I love Vance Astro. And Starhawk.
Havoc is Scott's brother, right?
Yeah,
Havoc. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I always liked Havoc. I thought Havoc.
Yeah, that's Alex Summers. Yeah.
Yep. Alex Summers was he was always angry.
Yeah, he's the guy that's in First Class.
From what I heard that they did to the dad, Cyclops' dad, I heard they turned him into a toe toucher.
What the hell? A back tickler?
Oh my!
I'm not bullshitting. Yeah, I think I've read something in the last like 2 or 3 months. I was flipping through some shit and I seen him, with the mustache. I knew who he was, and all of a sudden it was like some extra shit being attached to him. I was like, oh, come on, don't tell me they fucking did Scott Summers' dad like this.
If it's Marvel Comics, just assume all of them are. Just
don't
touch them. They're all. It's Marvel Comics. Just what are you gonna do? Why not?
Well, they've got like a whole table of people now that go over the stories and are like, okay, you can do that, you can't do that. Same thing at Disney, same thing at Lucasfilm, same thing in the Marvel stuff. They've got a whole group of people that look over everything and say yes or no, along with sensitivity readers and all that shit. So
yeah, sensitivity readers, got to have them. What a job! That's the job I want. I want a job. I'd love to start working for one of those companies to be a sensitivity reader.
$30 an hour to read.
Yeah. Oh, that's not bad. Oh,
yeah, I would love to do that shit.
Man, all you have to do is just think like an SJW, which don't mean.
Yeah.
I didn't need we use the word think, but
Yep.
react like one.
Yep. Show them how sensitive you are. You'll be in
this. This is racist. Everything, and just remember, every other 3 or 4 pages, find something racist or sexist or homophobic, and you're good. What easy money.
Continuity. Shockwave says, "Can we please replace the sensitivity readers with continuity readers?"
No, sorry, we can't have that.
So that's mine. That's mine. That's the one I wanted to bring up. Was X-Men Phoenix Saga. We've seen it. We've seen it in comics. We've seen it in anime. We've seen it in a couple movies. One of them, well, I don't know.
Both of them were probably pretty bad.
Both of them were big letdowns, especially after 2. I gotta say, I was expecting a lot more. Man, when I saw her under the water after 2, you see that silhouette, that shadow of the Phoenix. I was like, now we are getting down to some hardcore heavy shit, gentlemen. And then they came out with that movie, and I was like, I thought this is supposed to be hardcore heavy metal shit, dude. And I'm like, yeah, it's not like the comic book or the animated series. So.
It was one of the great sagas of them all. And you do know, I'm sure that, initially she was not supposed to die in the original Dark Phoenix saga.
Yeah.
Jim Shooter did it because it was going to and of course later they even did a special Baxter edition reprint of the way it was called the Phoenix, Dark Phoenix Saga Untold Story. But what happened was, in one of the issues after she becomes Dark Phoenix, she's playing around out there in space and she just wipes out a whole world of asparagus people.
Yep.
And Jim Shooter said, well, we're going to have to kill her because she murdered a whole world full of people. It's like, yeah, but they're asparagus people. But no, it doesn't matter. So it was his decision. Claremont and Byrne didn't want to kill her, I don't think. And they didn't really weren't too happy about the idea, which is why she got brought back every 5 minutes till the end of time.
Nobody ever dies.
Nobody ever. They broke death a long time ago.
Well, didn't they kill Cyclops in that, or almost kill him, or something happened?
Not in that one. They've killed him. I mean, who hasn't died in comics? The question is, who has not been killed in comics lately? I mean,
it's like a soap opera. It's like, we are here to mourn the death of Victor Newman, the Black Knight of the Young and the Restless.
But he'll be back next week.
Because he didn't die in that car crash. He didn't go over the cliff. He rolled down the hill and to a blind woman's house and is safe under her care. Tune in next week. Yeah, Jesus.
Until around the early or mid 2000s, the running joke in comics was, well, nobody ever dies in comics but Bucky and Uncle Ben and Gwen Stacy. Now you have to take. now it's just Uncle Ben. And maybe he got brought back too, for all I know.
Is there any truth to the? Okay, so I heard someone because I don't look at modern day shit. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm a snob. I like my old fine wine comic books. Someone told me the other day that Mary Jane broke up with Peter. Peter is now dating Black Cat, and Mary Jane is also dating Black Cat, and they have a poly relationship.
Well, from what I heard is Mary Jane is actually with another guy, and she has kids with the other guy.
What?
Yeah. So Mary Jane is with this other dude, and she has 2 kids with this other dude right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. And it looks fucked up. Look it up real quick.
No, I believe you. I don't buy that crap. So
yeah, I don't fuck around with it either. But that's but that's the thing. It's like nowadays, they don't want people to be with who they supposed to be with, man. So if they have a way to. Trust me, if Superman and Lois wasn't a thing like a TV show and it was just like an established couple like that, then Lois would be fucking somebody else and Superman would be fucking some superhero, some superhero chick or some other shit.
Wow, Jesus.
And Shockwave, you just reminded me of that movie where John Candy was in drag and what's his name's daughter. And never talks.
Yeah.
What movie? The one with the pigs and the junk cars and the house and it's got
Uncle Buck?
No, it's not Uncle Buck. It's the one where he's that
Strange
guy's
Things in
daughter.
Automobiles.
No, it's not. No, I'm gonna have to look the fucking movie up now.
What is he now? What is he?
Nothing But Trouble, I think.
Nothing.
Is that it?
Could be.
Nothing But Trouble. It's got, I think it's got Chevy Chase and
yeah, it does. And Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd plays the dad. Okay, so John Candy, Eldana Dennis, Eldana. John Candy plays Dan Aykroyd's daughter, and he's like, the whole movie doesn't fucking talk. Oh shit. Anyway, Nothing But Trouble.
Weird. Yes.
When did Mary Jane break up with Tony Stark? And
what?
Mary Jane was with Tony Stark.
She was what? Huh? Was she with him? I mean, I can't keep up. Tony Stark and Mary Jane. Huh? I wouldn't put past him, but
Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase. Yeah.
Man. Yeah. So I don't know, but hey, comics. Hey, Monkey Jeebus. Look at Monkey Jeebus there. I do miss real good comics though.
What do you got for us tonight, Clobby?
So just anything off the top of my head. That's just
anything off the top of your head.
No. I want to keep it to where other people have read it, so we got to keep it kind of fairly out there, right? Huh? Well, you know what? In keeping with a certain movie coming out tomorrow.
What's that?
Let's talk about. Could talk a little bit about a character that's near and dear to both 24 and my own heart. Captain Marvel, who says Shazam, the Shazam one.
Yeah, when you said that, that's when I said, I think
because isn't it a shame that you have to clarify that and say, the one that says Shazam, but the real deal, the Big Red Cheese, has a movie coming out tomorrow, sort of, and but it makes me want to go back and read some of the good stuff, some of the old, innocent stuff like the Monster Society of Evil, which they'll never reprint because of let's say sensitivity readers, basically. But or even more later stuff like that big Treasury edition Superman versus Shazam, and yes, they had to say Shazam on the cover because it was even though it was the late 70s, the late 70s. So I don't know, I'm kind of almost feeling nostalgic about the great Big Red Cheese Captain Marvel, but what else is there? Is anyone going to see that?
I'm not.
Well, to be honest, he's fighting Helen Mirren in that movie.
Yeah.
Do you know how weak that? I'm gonna be honest. He's not looking too good. And then the thing is it's him and the whole family fighting her. So fuck all that, man. Like, fuck that. I don't know, man. I can't fuck with that, man.
You're not going?
But then it's the whole family fighting her, Lucy Liu, and Rachel, what the fuck her name is? Snow White, the new Snow White.
I don't know her name, but it's they are fighting Helen Mirren though, yeah. Some reason.
So you got the whole monsters fighting Helen Mirren, and so it's like, okay, then so like, I don't know. At this point, it's like, what the fuck are we doing, man?
Well, I mean, why didn't they just bring back Savannah and Mr. Mind? Remember they put Mr. Mind in the first one?
Savannah and not even dude, they're not even referenced. Mark Strong. Basically, Mark Strong. Yeah, dude. After the first movie, they're out of there, man.
I had a lot of problems with that first movie, to be honest with you.
That first movie was horrible, man. I fell asleep on it so many times. Fuck, man. I was like, damn. That I was so happy when I got the Shazam TV show on Blu-ray from the 70s.
There you go.
Like, real deal. I got it on Blu-ray. They sell it on Blu-ray. If you didn't know that, man. I scooped it up for like this was like 2 years ago. I scooped it up for like $15 on online. Yeah,
I love that show.
And the thing is, that's more true to the comic book Captain Marvel. In the beginning, it shows the whole thing, but Mentor, his ass. I didn't like his ass.
Mentor, played by Les Tremaine. Yeah.
Yeah, he served the purpose, but it's like he's the human version of the gods that were giving him the guidance anyway.
I always thought he should have been Uncle Dudley because Oh
yeah. That's Uncle Dudley. Yep.
Yeah. But man, he's a character that's coming into the forefront tomorrow, and by the next week, the movie will be forgotten. Even if it gets good word of mouth. But I'm gonna go take the bullet tomorrow. I'll sit there. Daytime.
Hey, all right. Do you remember the first Captain Marvel from the TV show?
Yeah, that would be Jackson Bostwick, wasn't it? When he's
yes. Now
he's kind of a wiener head, to be honest.
Well, but I'm just saying, like, if you look at him,
he looks great. Yeah.
And then you put him side by side with Zachary Levi. Zachary Levi, you know what? To be honest, he looks like an old motherfucker in a rubber suit, man.
He does.
Old motherfucker in a rubber suit. I gotta remember that.
I saw Levi on the carpet for that premiere of it the other day. I mean, he's a skinny. There ain't no way that's not some kind of big.
All that is the suit.
Yeah, he's suit. Man, he might be CGI too. I don't know.
He's
never that big.
He's another Robert Pattinson type dude, man.
He's a good. I like the guy. He's really cool. Good actor. He played Kurt Warner. Can you believe that? It's weird. But here it's just him as Captain Marvel. It would be fine in a good Captain Marvel movie, but this, I don't know, man. I'll go sit through any old thing and just see what happens. But one of the things I really can't stand, and this is Screw 52 trash. I'm really sick of just freaking lightning lad powers. I hate the lightning powers. They're horseshit. They're not Captain Marvel.
Yeah, especially with like he has the lightning bolts coming out of his eyes, like Thor did in the fucking
hands. Yeah, it sucks.
Bullshit. Fucking lightning bolts coming out of his eyes. Fuck out of here.
Jeff Johns started that crap with a Screw 52. His Shazam was revolting. And and they got the Shazam family. It's like they're just not the Marvel.
Yeah, you got It's like
the family.
The Shazamly, like that. You know,
Shazamly. I want to punch somebody in the throat for that one. The Shazamly. I'm going to punch somebody for that. Right in the throat. Boom. Who? Oh, Shazamly. That was your idea. Here, come here.
Right. So in 3 days on March 23rd, that's what I'm going to go see. I'm going to go see John Wick 4. Fuck everything else. There's my fuck for tonight.
That's opening tomorrow or this week or
23rd.
No? Okay, well, yeah.
He says 24th. Everybody says 24th, but you can go see it the night before.
3 days, so that means that'll be next week. Then that'll be next Thursday, a week from Thursday, I think. Yep. Right? Okay,
yep. Yeah. It's gonna be Thursday.
Yeah. You're gonna go see
tomorrow.
Yeah. Are you gonna count how many times he shoots somebody in the face?
I don't know. I'm just gonna go and enjoy the movie. You know what? You know how long it's been since I actually went to a movie just to enjoy a movie? So this is a birthday present? No, fuck that. I didn't want to go see that movie. I got that movie free.
Which one?
Batman. The Batman.
Yeah.
So
I enjoyed the review.
Out of theater. What a shitty ass movie. I don't go to, I don't know. I think Wrath of Khan might be the last movie I went to see that I was like, yay, I want to go see this movie.
Yeah.
The motion picture, Star Trek, the motion picture before that, most of the shit's been old stuff. I went and saw Jurassic Park Dominion. I went and saw, there was another movie I went and saw. I can't remember. I can't think of the name of it right now.
Well, John Wick's like 3 hours, but you hear people saying it's good, so there you go.
I better be after the last movie. The last movie was questionable. I like the ending.
I didn't like the last one too much.
I liked the ending, but there was some shit in there I didn't like. So
one of the funny things about those John Wick movies, though, because they're fun. It's like watching somebody play a video game after a point. But what gets me is like, if I'm one of the 400 guys that are going after him, and I'm in line and like 30 or 40 guys in front of me, I'm going, you know what? I think I'm going to keep inching back to the back of the line a little bit. I don't think I want to get shot in the face. Yeah. I'm not going to win. Look, he's taking out 70 dudes with no struggle, and he's just shooting them all in the face. I think as number 415 target is going to have a shot. I'll sit this one out, guys. Yeah. I just remembered I had to do something important.
I'd dive bomb his ass. So I'd be in a plane and I'd like nosedive, machine guns blasting. My only worry is he'd pull a Joker and pull this giant fucking 357 Magnum out of his shorts and blow up my plane with one shot.
That's what I'm saying. He can't be stopped. I'll be like, guys, I'll be back here keeping the score. You guys have fun. I'll be backing up slowly. Like, he's gonna kill me. I mean, you guys go get killed. Yeah, you go. Yeah, you can't beat him.
You remember who was one of the first people to start like those kind of movies with that? You remember Chow Yun-fat?
Yeah.
You remember like the movies he was doing back in like what, the late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah, but they do wire shit in those, and that was the thing that was like,
I loved Crouching Tiger.
He'd do like the jumping, spinning gun katana shit, where he's like jumping through the air, doing a corkscrew while shooting people, and it's like, okay, guys, the wire shit.
It's like hard boiled.
They did Bulletproof Monk too,
Bulletproof Monk, which wasn't a bad movie. It was kind of funny.
I mean, but he was like, he was doing that Max Payne bullet time type shits.
Yep.
This is like Nobody was. I thought the movie Nobody, that was sort of like, that was John Wick with some credibility to it.
Yes. Yeah. Nobody with the guy from Better Call Saul. Yeah. I absolutely love him.
You don't look at that guy and get scared. Keanu in those movies, you look at that guy and go, shit, this guy could kill me with a martial art. Forget a pencil.
Did you know he recruited Chris Farley to Saturday Night Live?
Who?
The guy.
Bob Odenkirk?
Yeah, Bob Odenkirk.
That was his job or something?
He was like comic talent.
Oh,
he was a talent. He was a talent scout for SNL back in the day, and he's the one who found Chris Farley and was like, "No, you got to get this kid. This kid's insane. You've got to get this kid and bring him on. He's absolutely insane."
Wow. You know how you get away. You know how you survive an encounter with John Wick is you need to be a shapeshifter and you just turn into a dog, and you get out of there. It's the only hope you have. Because other than that, or pretend to be a veterinarian and say, John, I never shoot dogs, but I save dogs. Okay, you can go.
Okay, you can go.
I won't shoot you in the face.
You want a puppy?
Have a puppy.
Here.
Hey, John,
I want a puppy.
No, John, here's a puppy, dude. Please don't shoot me. Oh man,
Who are you, little guy? Whoa. Oh, your name's Sally? Well, come home with me. Pow, pow, pow. You shot my dog. Poor fucker.
Yeah. Don't see no dogs. Oh man.
And then he looks at you like, you gave me the dog. Oh no, dude, not me.
By the way, folks, he does not feel the same way about cats, which is my kind of guy.
You know what's interesting about that is it's like a psychological tell, believe it or not. So this motherfucker did not care about any of the human beings he murdered. Okay. Yeah. Go back, and they called him the fucking boogeyman. He killed a guy with a pencil. He did all this shit in one night. Okay, so he didn't care about anybody. He didn't give a shit about anybody. He didn't care about anybody. Stone cold killer. And he meets this chick, and she makes him feel something for the very first time. And he's like, I finally found something, man. And I retired. And then she dies. And he's like, I'll never feel anything again. And then she sends him the dog. There's a psychological profile about sociopaths and psychotics that love animals but can't stand fucking human beings. Tony Soprano was one in The Sopranos. There's all kinds of this same shit that's been used for really good characters that people like. Is this sociopathic mad dog killer that suddenly finds something that he cares about, and then he gets taken away and he goes back to being that, and everybody loves it. Yeah. It's a classic story. It's a classic way of telling a story. It's a theme we're all familiar with in a way, and are like, no, I recognize this. I want to go see this movie. Isn't that interesting?
No, it is. Yeah, absolutely. That's what was kind of interesting about the first movie when I heard about it, because my son was talking about it. His motivation in the first movie is kind of funny, because you're like, wow, this is for what's different about this is usually it's either some super cop killing a bunch of drug lords, or it's if it's a hitman type, he's fighting to get out of the business. He's got like a heart of gold, even though he was a hitman once, or they're redeeming himself, but there's always some, if it's James Bond or Bourne, they're always fighting for some big fight. Him, dude killed his dog. That's good enough.
Dude killed his dog. That's right.
And that was kind of it was almost an irresistible premise. But about 3/4 into the movie, the 15 millionth time he just pops 40 guys without even breaking a sweat. I like the movie, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, this is kind of like watching a video game. I mean, like someone playing a video game. And then the second movie was some of that stuff with that world building that they went inside was kind of interesting and fun. But it got monotonous toward the end as well. But I think people like these movies so much is because they like Keanu, and he's just something different about that character, in the sense that we haven't seen a protagonist that's really not good. He's not good. He just won't kill you for nothing. But if you he'll kill you for something pretty small. Like, I wonder what he does to somebody who's like just mean to a dog. What if it's like somebody just actually kicks their dog and they're a jerk? Man, would he maim them, or would he just still shoot them?
Well, it's not that one dog. It's not just that one dog, because he gets another dog, and he's like,
another dog. I love doggies. Right? Yeah.
You'll take care of her, right? Yeah, of course, yeah. Mr. Wick. Right away. You better.
Oh, man. You better take care of your dogs, folks.
The boogeyman, the Baba Yaga come for you. Well, take care of your dog.
There's no John Wick comics, folks, but is there a John Wick comic? Maybe there is one. So we did sort of talk about comics there for a minute.
Might be.
I think there was a comic.
24. Favorite.
What's up?
Give us a favorite.
Tell us something.
Before we get out of here, you got to give us your what's one of your favorites?
Oh man. Comic books or movies, or what do we?
Comics. Books.
The Round Table.
Shit.
I know we got off on some side shit, but
yeah.
I talked about X-Men, Dark Phoenix Saga is one of my favorites.
I talked about Captain Marvel because he's got a movie coming out tomorrow that's going to be gone 2 weeks later. Oh, sorry.
Well, I know a good one is All-Star Squadron.
Yeah.
So nobody's ever read All-Star Squadron.
I haven't.
Shit.
They're sort of like the Justice Society, but they're like a subsection of the Justice Society that came out in the early 80s, and I bet you have every issue, dude.
Yeah, I do, man. I got
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Started in the 80s, lasted like what was it, 60 something, 70 issue? I mean, how long
did
it go?
If I'm not mistaken, it was like 60. It was 68 or so. It was a weird number. Yeah. But they've had like 60 something issues, man. It was a very good.
Some annuals, yeah.
Yeah, because it went through Christ on Infinite Earths too.
It did. 24 had a buddy of mine back then when we would talk about All-Star Squadron. He was a snob about it. He said, "It's not the Justice Society, the All-Star Squadron." A lot of these guys were, in the Golden Age, they couldn't even get their own. They were all second stringers. They couldn't even get their own main series. They weren't like Batman and Green Lantern and Superman.
Yeah.
They were, Johnny Quick.
Yeah, actually, it was all the heroes. It was all of them. Matter of fact,
it was all of them. Yes.
Did you ever see? You ever seen the first issue? They had Aquaman.
The first issue cover is one of the interesting covers of all.
No. I'm saying in the comic book, it's like, if I'm not mistaken, Roosevelt calls for all the heroes to come together.
Well, yeah, Justice Society. Yeah.
No. I'm talking about the All-Star Squadron.
Right.
So he calls for it. So every hero shows up. Every world. We're talking Miss America. We're talking, oh my goodness, Jesse Quick, Liberty Bell. Of course, every member of the JSA.
Yeah.
You had every member of the JSA plus everybody else it doesn't matter if they were a B-lister, C-lister. It was just any and everybody fucking showed up. And then they had one they had like this one picture that in the water trying to show up to the meeting was Aquaman with yellow gloves.
Uh-huh.
Do you know it's funny when they did the reboot of the DC universe and comics, the Dawn of DC, when they kicked that shit off I think a couple months ago, they introduced a World War Aquaman that showed up in the 1940s, and he had yellow gloves.
Mm-hmm. Here's that Loki. I shared that classic cover of #1 of All-Star Squad. I know my boy has this one.
Oh, look at that! Look at that Hawkman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hawkman,
I got that. Yeah, I got that.
Dr. Midnight.
Yeah. Oh man, just fucking. Yep, the Tarantula.
Yeah. Tarantula, Liberty Bell. I mean, it was
Liberty Bell.
There's Vigilantes on there.
Yep.
Green Lantern, of course.
Johnny Thunder and Thunderbolt.
Johnny Thunder and Thunderbolt.
And then you also had like Uncle Sam and all of them too.
Well, they were the Freedom Fighters on a different Earth, but they did pop in there. Like there they are in this and that issue. You can't see that one too well.
No, look, that issue is fucking that issue that you showed with Uncle Sam. No, that's fucking righteous as fuck. Yeah, I love that shit. Look at that, man.
I always love this cover right here.
Ooh. Oh, I got that one. I got two of those actually. Look at that, man.
Yeah, that's cool stuff, huh?
Oh, that's fucking awesome, man. Hey, I
love this cover right here.
Oh, yeah. I love it, man. Hey, you know who I thought was also pretty awesome was Robot Man.
Loved him, the original and the later one.
Yeah,
I mean, one before the one from Doom Patrol. It was a Golden Age.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the Robot Man in here in the All-Star Squadron.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying the Golden Age one. Yeah.
Oh man, he was fucking awesome. And then I also like Amazing Man.
Amazing Man. There you go.
Yeah. Amazing Man was fucking awesome too, man.
Yes, sir.
Dude. I mean, this man. Look at that.
Looks. Yeah, man. But you got them all. I bet you.
Yeah, I do. If I'm not mistaken, isn't that the last issue?
The one we just showed?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
number 60 something. I can't see the number.
Yeah. I think that is the last issue.
Yeah. It is last issue. That's right.
Yeah.
There you go.
See, that's come on, man. I mean, I can't really see it the number, but I just know the picture.
Yeah, it was 60 something or other.
Right.
But
hey, you know that picture you showed afterwards. Oh, that would look at that. Fucking Shining Knight. I love Shining Knight, dude.
Yeah, for the 7 Soldiers of Victory.
Oh man, the 7 Soldiers of Victory, bro. Man.
Yeah. I love that you mentioned All-Star Squadron, man. They were great. So.
Well, to be honest, back then, between All-Star Squadron, Batman and the Outsiders, and the Teen Titans, those were, like I'm just saying, like for DC, like back then, man, those were and then you also had where Lobo first showed up at
Omega Men.
The Omega Men, yeah. You also had them, and then you also had like Atari Force.
Yeah, Garcia Lopez did the art on that one.
Boy, that was a good fucking comic book, man.
Yeah, great art. Garcia Lopez, great stuff.
Yep, Garcia Lopez. Yep.
Yeah, cool stuff. Gotta love the JSA and the All-Star Squadron.
Oh man, the All-Star Squadron. Look, I'm telling you, look at that, man. Look, everybody in their fucking prime, dude. Like
real superheroes right there, dude.
Yep. And look at Steel man, I used to love Steel, man.
There's Infinity Inc. in there. Infinity crossed over with Infinity Inc. on that one.
Yep. With Infinity Incorporated. Yep. Look at Brainwave. You see Brainwave Jr. right there in the middle.
Yep. There he is.
Yep, fucking Brainwave Jr. along with Jade in Obsidian.
You like the
and then you had and then you had Fury. You see that was Wonder Woman's daughter.
Yep, Fury.
Yeah, right next to
Silver Scarab.
Yep, and that's Nuklon right there with the mohawk. He ends up being Atom Smasher later.
That's right.
So if you guys don't know it, Atom Smasher, from the Black Adam movie, that's him right there with the red mohawk.
I left it too quick. So
trust me, man. I own all that shit, man. I own all that.
You.
Look at that. Come on, man. Come on, man. You can't look at that cover, man. You can't fucking dude.
I hear you, man. I'm with you. I love that stuff. I love it.
The fucking look at you got Spectre, Starman. Come on, man. Oh.
I hear you.
And then you got the Golden Age Wonder Woman. That's man. And then right there, you got fucking Sandman right there in his original costume.
Yep, that's right. Actually, that's the second guy. That's the second costume. That's the Kirby one. Yeah. Remember the original?
The
original was the trench coat.
Yeah. Right. Oh, okay. So he went from the trench coat to that.
Yeah, Kirby.
And then went back to the trench coat.
Back to the trench coat. That's right.
Okay, so I didn't know that. Okay.
Some retcons, yeah. But yes, that's good. Kirby went and revamped him there. And as much as I love Kirby, I actually like the trench coat better. That original Sandman outfit was fantastic, man.
Look at that fucking Hour Man,
freedom fighters, dude.
Nah, and look, but see, he look at that. He fighting that Nazi motherfucker right there in the middle of.
Yes, sir. That's right. Yeah, buddy, I love. Hey, it's got a tag on it. $4 for that comic.
You just figuring that out, Pat?
Uh-oh.
Man, look at that shit.
Are you saying
Look at you remember Firebrand?
Yes.
Look, all right, that chick right there between
that's
between Liberty Bell and Johnny Quick, that's Firebrand. That's right. In case y'all didn't know who that was, that's Firebrand.
Is that a true statement that Pat made? Are you a DC guy over Marvel guy?
Hey man, I don't know what.
That's cool. Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, go up some. Go. No.
Sorry. Where to? You name it, and I'm there.
24.
Did we lose you? Look at that, Seven Soldiers of Victory. That comic is $4. I bet you get a better deal on that one though.
24 got so excited he blew that shit up, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he's muted. You there, brother? Are you there?
All right, there you go. Nah, man, I've been damn. I didn't even know I'm over here talking and shit.
We thought you blew that shit up. We're looking to get you a new mic.
What do you think of this price here, 24? This issue has that's number 29, Seven Soldiers of Victory, and it's $4. Is that a little high or what?
You know what? I remember me and my brother going to the fucking comic book store getting that for 75 cents, man.
Well, that's the cover price.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I mean, I can't because it's kind of small on the screen, but I remember, like, from memory, buying that issue for 75 cents, man. And
but 24
back then, that was when
there's a white guy. There's a white guy on the cover. How could you? How could you like it if it's got a white guy on the cover?
Well, you could like this one. They got a black man here. Hey, Amazing Man. It's a black.
Oh. Hey, did you like Cyclotron?
Yeah. Now, I remember at this time when this book was coming out, I didn't buy it super regularly. I bought it, some of the award-winning ones and stuff like that. So I bought it sporadically because I love the characters, but I was just at an age where I was buying different stuff.
Now that cover. Do you remember that villain right there?
Oh, let me go back.
Him,
the guy in the gold with the gold axe thingy.
Right. He was
annual number 2.
When the Just Side of America last showed up in Adventure Comics. You remember when they came back? They had like they came back around the late 70s.
Yeah, it was they came in All-Star Comics, remember?
All-Star Comics. Yeah, that's what it was. It was All-Star Comics. And then from All-Star they went to, but in All-Star Comics they came back, and because I have those issues, and they came back I think it was like issue number 67,
something like that, 50 or 60 something. You're right. Yeah.
Right. And then from there, they one of the first people that they ended up fighting was that guy with the axe. I forgot his fucking name.
I don't remember his name either.
So it's crazy how like he comes from the last time they came back in All-Star Comics to him showing up in All-Star Squadron.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's a man.
Here you go, buddy.
Man, dude.
Shazam!
Hey, that was him. That was during Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yep, Crisis. Ugh. Man,
hey man, but I tell you what, when he showed up, he was fighting the hell out the whole All-Star Squadron. He was fucking Captain Marvel wasn't bullshitting. He showed up. He wasn't playing, man. He was not playing in that one.
Anyway, we've overtaken too much of the show there, brother.
Oh man.
I'm terrible with exact dates, buddy. I can give you a year and that. I can tell you this came out in 1985, but that's because of Crisis. But see the big 50 up there? That was the 50th. That was 1985.
Oh, hey man, I just seen that little comment, man.
I do. I expect it. I really do, because you guys start talking about shit I don't even know about. I mean, I would say I'm well versed in comics, but I mean, when it comes to YouTube, you guys are out of my fucking league. I know stuff. I know about characters.
Stuff, man. You know way more than I do of all the new stuff, newer things.
I don't know shit about.
That's right,
stuff.
Loki. Man. Loki knows so much more about new stuff than all of us.
Yeah, I don't mean comics in particular, but yeah.
Loki is the new stuff master.
No, I'm not the new stuff master. Thank you. No, I stopped reading DC after New 52. Yeah. I haven't read a Marvel book since before that. I haven't touched a Marvel book besides my own old stuff or stuff that I've bought that's old. I haven't even read a Marvel comic in at least like 10 years.
Would you be shocked that I should tell you that I bought one today?
I would. I really would.
I got one. No, I got a new Marvel comic today.
What in the hell? Why?
Actually, I've been getting it for 3 months.
You've been cheating on us?
Yeah, I have.
I can tell.
I guess I can show it to you before we can get out of here. Unless you want to show it.
Oh yeah, show us.
Okay. It's a comic that
I'll pull that and you can show us.
Yeah. Yep. And Chris Persia asked the first question I was thinking.
What?
Is it a reprint?
No. This is a book that started a couple of months back. They're up to issue number 3 or 4 now, I believe 4. This is the 60th anniversary of the Avengers. And this comic takes place right after Avengers number 8 with the first appearance of Kang. It's written by Paul Levitz, my all-time favorite writer of the Legion of Superheroes at DC. He's never written a Marvel book in his life, even though he was president of DC Comics at one point and publisher. He just never worked for Marvel. And Alan Davis, very well known Marvel and DC, but mostly artist. It totally takes place in the Silver Age, right after, again, like when Kang first appears. So it's no modern pollution of any kind. And so far, I've been enjoying it. I had to have it with Paul Levitz doing it, with it being in the Silver Age and having Alan Davis art. That's a no-brainer. I had to have this sucker.
All right, I'm gonna call my comic book shop and see if they have copies, and I'll go and pick them up.
You never know. You might not like it, but I enjoyed the first 2 issues, and now they're up. I mean, the 3 issues I think it is now, or 2 or 3. And I got Minimus, my friend Claude, brought me the new copy today because I didn't get it. I was gonna go pick it up myself, but he just brought it over. And again, it's Paul Levitz. I had to have it again. We'll see where it goes. It's only 5 issues, right?
So, that's all it is.
Yeah, 5 issues.
But
look at the art, man. It's based on real the characters. Obviously, it doesn't look like early 60s stuff. But this is from I don't know if you're familiar with Alan Davis, but he did a lot of Marvel and DC stuff. That's one of the.
I mean, I guess
Hulk's got the purple shorts on.
So I guess what you're saying is, I guess what you're saying is, for it to be a new comic, you know, considering who's actually doing it and drawing it and writing it, this is about as retro.
Yes.
Can you go back to that Thor cover?
Let's see, which one was that? Oh, that's a different one.
No, the one on the left. It's all the way on the left bottom corner. The one where
Odin's fighting
with them. No, the ones where Odin's fighting.
Okay, that one there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And it's like I said, because of that stupid Quantum Mania, and you know, it's in. They actually did a facsimile of Avengers #8, the first appearance of Kang. This story, the first issue, it's them right after that story. It takes place, and so they're fitting it between, you know, established stories, and so that was just a fun idea. Back in the 90s, there was a comic I used to love called Untold Tales of Spider-Man by Kurt Busiek. I don't know if you're familiar with that one. Look, I know you like Spider-Man, but
I was crazy, man. That
book took place. You know how every story has its gaps. I mean, you know,
right.
The next issue, you know, different things happen over the course of the character. Well, he set he set every issue inside of Untold, just like I said, it takes place inside the original timeline. Just stories that were not told, and I used to love that book. And it didn't. Other than it was obviously more modern art than you know. Other than the art being a little more modern, the stories fit nicely into, you know, the con. You believe that story happened, and we just never got to read it. You know, see what I'm saying? And that's what this is. And in that case, that went for like 30-something issues, and I really enjoyed it. This is 5, and it's just like an homage to the real deal Avengers. I love Alan Davis's art. He's done. I mean, he did Excalibur. You know, he did Avengers before. He's done Justice League: The Nail. That was a great miniseries. And if you look at it, man, it's just looks like the pure classic stuff. And I love his Legion of Superheroes. So again, I'm not saying this is going to be great or anything. I don't know, but the first couple of issues so far, I've enjoyed.
Heck yeah! All right, I'll give it a shot because of Clobby.
I'm not.
It's all your It's all your fault now. It's all your fault now. You brought it up.
That's not a recommendation. That's just telling you that I was just shocking you with the news that I bought a Marvel comic.
And
I never tell anybody to buy anything.
And that you have been buying them.
Yes, and I will continue to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
So yes,
it's all your fault, Clobby.
It is.
Guys, we're getting out of here.
All right,
I want to thank the panel. I want to thank 24/7 Fusion Media for being here. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
What do you got coming up?
Actually, just working on you know, I'm actually going to start live streaming on a regular basis. I've been
fading in and out tonight.
Oh, no, I was saying that, you know, I was just, you know, I've been doing it, you know, going to interviews and stuff, and that's why I haven't done a video in the last like day or so. But you know, I plan to just be dropping videos and doing live streams daily. So that's what I'm prepping myself up, you know, to be doing on a regular basis at the same time, you know, trying to work and everything else. So that's what I've been working on, but that's what I got going on at the moment.
All right. 20 clobbering times. What do you got going on? I know you got something going on tonight.
Yeah, at the top of the hour, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I will be doing the usual Wild Card Wednesday night for clobbering times, and of course, I guess tomorrow night I'll be at 6. I'll be in 6 Central with Tom and the gang for the Midnight's Edge After Dark group, and then tomorrow night 9 p.m. Central back here on back over on my channel with Raquel and Mark D with a C for their Clobby's Clubhouse. And there you go. Friday night with Nick of the Gang, 8:30 as always, the Comic Shop Gang there. And then Saturday night Star Trek, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks for having me, buddy.
No, thank you for being here. Guys, check out these two wonderful content creators, 24/7 Fusion Media and Clobbering Times. Their links are in the chat. Make sure you're subscribed, ring that bell, and that you catch their latest videos and live streams. We are out of here. We will be back next week with another comic book roundtable. Hell, we might even do a toxic masculinity thing. Male gaze. We might even do a male gaze next week. I don't know. I have to look.
Yeah, buddy.
The big dog. The big dog is down. So no video edits, none of that for a little while. But we may be able to get some nice pictures of some beautiful comic book ladies. Until then, guys, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend and honor, and we'll see you on the next comic book roundtable. Take care, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Peace.